Hello everyone. Now we will see the next topic, that is identifying kernel for learning nonlinear function for the SVM. In previous example we have seen the points, okay, or we have seen the example for linear SVM. So what do you mean by the linear SVM? The given data points are already classified into two different classes. Okay, now see the example. What if the points to be divided by the SVM are scattered? Okay, so in that case we have to identify the kernel function so that the point can be transformed into other values. So let's see the example. If we have a data points like 2 2 2 minus 2 minus 2 minus 2 minus 2 2, which belongs to one particular class. Another data points are 1 1 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay, these together they are belonging to another class. So first step is plot these points in the x and y coordinates, that is our in 2 dimension. Okay, so here if we plot the graph, so 1 1, okay, 1 minus 1, then minus 1 1, okay, and minus 1 minus 1. Similarly 2 2, okay, 2 minus 2 minus 2 minus 2 and minus 2 and 2. So you can see that we cannot right now in this in this figure we cannot distinguish the hyperplane, okay, because the points are scattered. Okay, so these problems are called as the nonlinear SVM. Okay, here in this diagram nonlinear separable sample data points are shown, and we have plot this graph. We have used here two different color. Red color is representing the negative examples, and another blue color positive example. Negative positive means what? We have assumed that this one particular class belongs to positive class and this class belongs to negative class. Okay, we have assumed that, so that's why we have written here. So in that case what we can do? Okay, so what is our goal? We have to identify the hyperplane which will accurately discriminate all these data points. As this problem is non-linear, so we have to use the kernel function. So what do you mean by the kernel function? Or you can see that in our previous description I have added that SVM is widely used for classification just because it uses the kernel trick. So what do you mean by the kernel trick? Even if some data points are applicable to only those which are linearly separable, okay, but here SVM is applicable for non-linear also, just because of with the help of kernel function. So this phi 1, okay, this is the standard kernel function. There are many kernel function, but this is one of the kernel function which I have shown you. If you use this function and if you apply on the original data points, then those data points will be transformed into new data points, and then you can easily identify the discriminating line, that is a hyperplane. Okay, so before applying the kernel point we have to see what are those conditions. Suppose if I want to apply this kernel function, okay, then what is the condition? Okay, if x1 square plus x2 square and square root of that value is greater than 2, then we can apply this transformation function. Otherwise keep that data point as it is. Okay, what is our problem? X1 square plus x2 square and finding square root. If that value is greater than 2, then only transform, otherwise keep that value as it is. Okay, so by applying this, what will happen here, or what are our data points? 1 1, so 1 square plus 1 square and its square root is less than the 2. Similarly, all the values are less than the 2, so these data points will remain as it is. Okay, now see this example. 2 square plus 2 square, okay, 8, and square root of 8 is greater than 2, so that's why we need to apply the kernel function here. Similarly for all remaining data point. Okay, so now see what will be the data points. So if for transforming, what is the x? This first value represent the x value, second value represent the y value. So what is x value? It is the function is 4 minus x2 plus absolute difference. Okay, this is what absolute difference between x1 and x2. Okay, for x value you will write here 4 minus x2. and for x value, okay, you will write here 4 minus x2. In our example we will consider this as a y, and here 4 minus x1, in our example x1 will represent as a x. Okay, so see this simplification. So what will be the value for 2 2? Okay, here x is 2, y is 2. Okay, so for x, 4 minus x2, here x2 is what? 2. 4 minus x2 plus absolute difference between x1 and x2. So 2 minus 2, which is 0, 4 minus 2, that is initial point is 2. Similarly, second value is 4 minus 2. Okay, 4 minus x1, that here x1 is 1 and absolute difference between 2. So there is no change, this point is remain as it is. It doesn't mean that after transforming function, like after kernel function, you will get the new point. Sometimes that point remain as it is. Okay, now see the next point. Here x1 is 2, x2 is minus 2. Okay, so what are the new values for it? So what is our function here? Again, see this function 4 minus x2 plus absolute difference of x1 x2. Okay, so here 4 minus x2. Now here what is x2? Minus 2. So minus minus will become plus. So that's why 6 I have written. And absolute difference x1 minus x2. So here 2 minus of minus 2. Again it will add that value. So that point will become 10. Okay, 6 plus 4, 10. Similarly, see the next calculation. 4 minus x1. Here x1 is 2. Plus absolute difference in between 2, that is 2 plus 2, because this minus will get plus. So what will be the value? 4 minus 2, 2, and 2 plus 2, 4. So that value will be 6. So our original data point was 2 minus 2, but after applying kernel function, our data point will be 10 and 6. Okay. Similarly, for remaining next point, minus 2 and minus 2, x1 is minus 2, x2 is minus 2. Okay, so 4 minus x2, here x2 is minus 2, this minus minus will become plus, so this value will become 4 plus 2, and absolute difference between these two, minus 2 minus minus 2 minus minus will become plus, so this value will become the 0. So point will be 4 plus 2, that is 6. Similarly, second point, 4 minus x1. Here x1 is minus 2. So 4 minus of minus 2, that becomes 4 plus 2, and absolute difference is 0. So original data point was minus 2 minus 2. After applying kernel function, the data point will be 6 and 6. See the next point, that is minus 2 and 2. So what is the value of x? 4 minus x2. Here x2 is 2. So 4 minus 2. And absolute difference between these two, minus 2 minus 2. See, here we are taking absolute value. That's why we won't consider the sign. So minus 2 minus 2, even if it is minus 4. But here we will consider only 4 value. So that is it. That value is 6. Similarly, what is the y value? 4 minus x1. Here x1 is minus 2. So this minus minus will become plus. So this value will be 4 plus 2. And the absolute difference is minus 4. But we will consider only value, that is 4. So point is 10. So what are the data points here? So original data points were of one class 1 1, 1 minus 1, minus 1 minus 1, minus 1 1. Okay, but after applying the kernel function, our data points become transformed. That data points transformed to 10 6, 6 6 and 6 10. Okay, you can clearly see the difference between the first diagram and the second diagram. Initially the points were not linearly separable, but after applying this kernel trick, now our diagram look like this, where now it is clearly we can identify the hyperplane. So this belongs to first class and this belongs to second class. So here we get only two support vector. Okay, the point marked by this yellow circle and point marked by this yellow circle, two different points will act as a support vector. So let's consider this first support vector is 1 1. Okay, and second support vector is 2 2. Okay, so by this diagram what we can identify? We can easily identify support vector 1 1 and 2 2. Okay, see this diagram, this particular belongs to one class and this belongs to another class. As this 10 6 6 6, these points are far away from the hyperplane, possible hyperplane. Okay, so we cannot consider this as a support point. Similarly, these data point 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, these are far away from the proposed hyperplane, which we think by looking at the diagram it is easy to identify that the hyperplane will lies in between these two data point. Okay, so let's consider this first from the negative class, that is 1 1 as a support vector, and from the positive class 2 2 as a support vector. So in this diagram we have identified the two support vector 1 1 and 1 2 2. Now augment those support vectors with the bias 1, so our point will be 1 1 1 2 2 1. Okay, now what will be the equation of our line here? So alpha 1 into S1 plus alpha 2 into S2. Okay, this first belongs to negative class, that is why minus 1. Similarly, alpha 1 into S1 plus alpha 2 into S2 belongs to plus 1. And after augmenting with the bias input, our final equation will be alpha 1. See, this is the first equation for S1, so multiply with the S1, and second equation multiply with the S2. So alpha 1 into S1 plus alpha 2 into S2 into S1, and this first support vector belongs to which class? Negative class. That's why we will equate to minus 1. And second support vector belongs to positive class, and it is a second equation, so we will multiply by the support vector S2. So alpha 1 into S1 into S2 plus alpha 2 into S2 into S2. So that will equate it to 1. Now put the values of support vectors which we have computed, and after computation we will get the final equation 3 alpha 1 plus 5 alpha 2 equal to minus 1, 5 alpha 1 plus 9 alpha 2 equal to plus 1. Now you can put these values in the equation in the calculator, and you will find the values. Alpha 1 value is minus 7, alpha 2 value is 4. So now our next target is finding the value of W vector. Okay, so how you will find out? The equation of hyperplane is W is nothing but summation of all the coefficients with the support vector. So what are the how many coefficients we have used here? We have used the coefficient, we have used the two coefficient. Okay, that is alpha 1 and alpha 2. So alpha 1 multiplied with S1 vector, alpha 2 multiplied with the S2 vector. What is our S1 augmented vector? 1 1 1 as a bias input, 2 2 1 as a bias input. If you simplify this, we will get the answer 1 1 minus 3. So here if you compare this, so our value of W, that is 1 1, and the bias value is 3. So W11 means what? Now here your hyperplane will not be a horizontal line or will not be a vertical line. Okay, you have seen that in the last example. When 1 0, then that line is vertical. When 0 1, line will be horizontal. But now here 1 1 means that line will not be horizontal as well as vertical line. So how you will find the line coordinates? So for W11, the line coordinates can be found by simplifying the equation. That is, what is the line equation here? X plus y is equal to 3. What is our line equation? Here 1 1 x plus y equal to 3. So how you will find the coordinate? First put x equal to 0, y equal to 3, then put y is equal to 0, then you will get the value x as a 3. So 0 3 and 3 0 will be the coordinates for line. Now see, if you plot 0 3 and okay, this one is 3 0 and this one is 0 3, and if you draw the line, then you will get the separating hyperplane for the nonlinear SVM. So now here you can clearly see that we have a 2 support vector and with the bias value 3. Okay, but here our direction of W vector is what? 1 1. So 1 and 1. So if you plot this line will go like this. Okay, so the W vector is always normal to the hyperplane, and vector always originate from the origin 0 0. So if you plot direction 1 1 1 and 1, somewhere come here, and if you draw the line, it will definitely perpendicular or normal to the hyperplane. So this is what the nonlinear SVM, which you can easily identify with the help of kernel function, which have transformed the original value into the new coordinates, and you can identify the support vectors, simplify the equation. Okay, calculate the points. Okay, line equation of line always depends on the what are the direction. Okay, here the direction W vector was 1 1. Okay, that's why we have find with the help of this equation we have computed the value 0 3 and 3 0 with the help of bias value. Okay, so this is what the nonlinear SVM. Thank you.